9 West Main Street, or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodmen of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
If you're looking for unique and colorful women's clothing and jewelry for all ages, you'll love the Joshua Tree Boutique on the Court Square in Princeton. Rhonda Stone, the owner, loves choosing beautiful, unique, and colorful clothing for her shop. Spring-like weather will be here soon to stay. So head on in and see a sneak peek of what's new this year. And while you're there, take advantage of some sale racks. You'll love the savings and the fashions at the Joshua Tree. Be sure to like them on Facebook for updates and photos of fashions at the Joshua Tree Boutique at 110 East Court Square in Princeton.
1580 103.3 WPKY Coffee Talk is on the air. Morning conversations about things of interest to you. If you'd like to be a guest on Coffee Talk, just email us your information at WPKYonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
Good morning. Welcome into Coffee Talk. We are going to talk to Family and Consumer Sciences agent Ashley White here in just a minute. First, though, I want to remind you tomorrow or this morning at 9:07, you're going to hear the sirens going off because it is an emergency siren drill happening at 9:07 this morning. So don't get panicked if you hear the sirens. It's on purpose. There's not a problem. It's just a drill, okay? But just want to remind you of that. So we're going to talk to Ashley this morning about some stuff going on at the Extension office. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And, all right, so talk to me about what's going on at the Extension office.
Okay. We've got our Cooking with Joni program coming up on March 14th at 11 o'clock. And she's going to be teaching about meal planning. And you're going to try and make and then try the cabbage roll stew. It's the March calendar menu on the Nutrition Education Program calendar.
Okay.
So that's always a good time. If you've not been to one of Joni's classes, you need to come. She provides lots of good information, and then you get to do that hands-on cooking, and then of course you get to try that recipe.
Have you tried it yet?
She made it the other day to take somewhere, and I smelled it, but I did
cabbage,
not.
I'm sure you did.
Well, I didn't. No, it smelled really, really good.
Okay.
But I have not had the chance to try it yet. She has tried it, and I asked her about it this morning because I knew you were going to ask me. And I said, so what do you think? What do you think? And she said it's a really good recipe. It makes a lot. So if you're trying to feed several people, it makes a lot. If you're feeding one, then you're going to have leftovers.
Gotcha.
So, but she said it's really good, and I'm looking forward to trying it.
What's in it? You know?
I can't tell you that. I know there's cabbage, and I know there is ground beef. So I haven't looked at all of the recipe, but I do know that she was doing those two things.
Cabbage is one of those things that, I eat because, it's there. But
well, maybe this is a new way to try it. Maybe you would like it this way.
I am not a cabbage fan.
See, ground beef is not my thing, so I would have to kind of modify a little bit, but I am going to try it. I try the things, even though I am a picky eater, and so if I'm cooking something to take somewhere, I do try it. Maybe with the participants, but I do also try it. If I'm going to ask somebody to try it, I do the same.
And these are cabbage rolls, so you actually have to put the stuff inside and roll them up and bake them, kind of thing. Is that?
Like I said, I have not done the menu.
Oh,
I haven't done the recipe yet.
Okay, sorry, I thought you saw it. I thought you looked at it. So.
Oh no, I could just smell it, and I know she was talking about the cabbage, and she was talking about the ground beef. So that's why I know that those two things are in it.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't made this recipe yet.
I got you. Okay, all right. Well, we'll have to see what Joni says or see what you say next time when you
see what I say next time after I try it. But you can take Joni's word for it too.
Right, Joni said it's good.
She said it's good.
But is Joni as picky of an eater as you are?
Well,
or she
we just like the different things.
Joni likes chickpeas, so there's that bar.
she's more open to try things.
Okay.
But I've become very open to trying things since I've been here, especially whenever if I go to the preschool and I'm going to ask them to try something, then I try it before.
Okay.
Now, whether or not I like it is a different issue. But.
Right.
And then the Pennyrile area homemakers are hosting their annual spring seminar, and it's called Herbs the Word Cooking School. And so we're learning all about herbs on this day. It is March 22nd, and it will be held at the Christian County Extension Office. Cost is $12, and you register and pay at your local extension office. So you would not have to go to Christian County to pay. You just come to my office and register for that event. The doors open at 9:30 on that day, and the program begins at 10, but registration is required in advance. So please stop by the office and register by March 12th if that is something you're interested in.
And I'm sorry, I missed part of the conversation. My mind just
that's okay.
wandered. It's March the 12th. Where is it?
No, it's March 22nd.
Oh, you have to register by
You
the 12th.
have to register by March 12th, and it's at the Christian County Extension Office.
That's what I thought I heard you say.
Yes.
Now, what exactly are they doing? What herbs the word?
Herbs the word. So we're going to learn all about herbs. We have a chef. He is a chef in Lexington, Wyatt Sarbacker, and he will be our keynote speaker, and he'll be doing a demonstration. And then we will have a session on growing herbs and making salad dressings with herbs. So
the legal kind, right? We're not talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about the legal kind. Yes.
All right.
Yes. So the
just making sure.
Yes. And we it'll be from about 10 to about 2, and lunch will be provided.
Are there specific herbs they're going to talk about, or?
I haven't talked to the person who is doing the salad dressing portion, but there could be a variety.
I'm not a huge do you use a lot of herbs when you cook?
I try to use more herbs than salt, but I try.
There are some that I like, the really strong ones. So I know a lot of people like sage in their dressing. You know, I do not put the sage in there. That's a little bit too strong of an herb for me. And oregano, I think, is one that's used a lot for Italian stuff, and I'm not a huge oregano fan. I don't like cilantro.
See, I like cilantro. I like oregano.
Okay.
Basil.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people do. I mean, most people do. I'm strange. I'm a picky eater too. I'm a picky
It's
eater.
not strange. We like what we like.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true.
We all have different taste buds.
But from this, we can learn how to grow this stuff at home and maybe in a box and not have to go dig in the yard. Is that kind of what the concept is? All right, awesome. Do you grow your own?
I have tried. I've tried. I don't have very much of a green thumb, but I did it was about this time last year. Last March, I taught a container gardening class, or it wasn't only container gardening, but growing in small spaces. And so I started a little herb garden, and I was so proud of my little cilantro when it started growing. And I kept it up there for a while, and then life happens. So
right.
It's not my thing, but if it is, it wasn't necessarily that it was all that hard to do. It was just, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't something that I put the amount of time and effort into it that was required. So
it is easy as long as you want to commit.
Yes, as long as you're willing to make that commitment, and that is something that you enjoy doing. So
right. Yeah, see, I'm like, no, I can get it from the store. It's easier to go to the grocery store than it is to grow it. That's all right.
Well, and it depends on where your space and the time that you have to be able to devote to it, and whether or not you can remember to water it or do whatever. Right. So it's just, if it's not in your habit, it's not in your routine, then
you have to talk to the herbs like you do regular plants.
Now, I didn't talk to mine, but I'm sure you could.
Yeah. No, I just added one other thing to my list recently. I've started brushing my dog's teeth. That's a recent thing. You know, we had dental health month last month, and had Dr. Rogers in here and talking about pet dental health, and so that's enough. I don't need to grow herbs. I brush my dog's teeth. I put my commitment in. So anyway.
And then we have our third Little Books, Little Cooks program coming up at the end of the month this time. It's March 29th at 10 o'clock. And this is a program for families with children ages 3 to 5. Families cook together and we read a story together. And while they're doing that, they're learning to make healthy choices. So last month, I think I talked about it on here. We were talking about we were going to make fruit pizza, but we talked about how that sugar cookie that you have as your base that's a sometimes food. That's not a food that you eat every day because it's not healthy. But those strawberries that you're putting on top of your fruit pizza, those are healthy foods. We can eat those all the time. So they're learning to make healthy choices without us necessarily just standing up and saying, hey, this is what you need to do. And
now, how did that go? I know the month before you had to you found out that you had to put a cap on it.
We did.
So, was this one as successful? The last one?
It was. We're having a great crowd, and the families are having a good time. The kiddos are having a good time. If I see some of the kiddos out, they ask about the cooking class. When are we going to do that again? So It's fun. We're having a really good time with it.
Yeah, that one always excites me. Every time you mention that, I'm like, oh, I wish I would have done that with my kids. I wish I had, that had something like that where I could go to. But that wasn't an option back then. But I would definitely have participated.
Right. And cooking with your kids is something that you can do at home. Yes, it takes more time. It is a little messier, but the benefits that you can gain from cooking with your children they're ongoing. So it's a really good practice. It's not something that necessarily you would have to do every single day. I know there are times when you get home and you like, I've got to get food in the oven right now. I don't have time for this, but if you can make the time ever so often to cook with kids, it's a world of benefits for both of you.
And what's on the menu this month?
This month we're going to do salsa and bean dip.
Okay.
So it'll be tasty.
Do you make the salsa fresh?
Mm-hmm. We'll make the salsa and we'll mush up the beans and make the bean dip.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
And keep in mind that space is limited. We don't cut off the registration deadline until March 28th, but that doesn't mean that class won't fill up before then. So go ahead, if you're interested in coming, go ahead and give us a call today.
And is there a fee for that one?
No, it's free.
Okay.
It's a free program. And those are our programs for March. We will have an April Pinterest Club. So keep an eye out for what we'll be doing for that one. And the date has changed. And it will be a Tuesday instead of a Thursday. And I don't have a calendar in front of me, so I can't tell you what date it is. Hang on, here's a calendar. It will be April 9th.
April 9th. That's
yes,
the Pinterest
that's
Club.
That's the next Pinterest Club. And details will be coming out in the next couple of weeks of what that Pinterest craft will be.
All righty. All right, Ashley, and so that's the programs that you've got coming up, and I see you brought us something else to talk about today.
I did. I was really excited about this. We talked at one of my trainings a couple of weeks ago about some updated physical activity recommendations, so I just thought we might spend a couple of minutes talking about those updates or just talking about those recommendations in general. Some people may or may not know. But it is recommended that adults get 150 minutes of moderate physical activity per week. And I see your face. But that's per week. That's in a week.
Okay.
If you break that down, that's 30 minutes, 5 days a week.
Okay.
And the difference, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity per week. And one of the things that I love about one of the things that they have updated these recommendations with, they are always talking about the long-term benefits of physical activity. Lowers your blood pressure. It helps lower your risk of diseases such as diabetes and heart disease. It helps you stay at a healthy weight. Those are all great long-term benefits. Those are not benefits that we see after one time of being physically active. So what I love about this is that they have added some of the benefits that you see immediately. So things like it boosts your mood, helps sharpen your focus, helps reduce stress, helps improve your sleep. These are things that you're going to see with the first time you work out. or the first time that you're physically active. I kind of mix up the terms, being physically active and working out. And I think a lot of people think of working out and they think of, I've got to go to the gym and I've got to sweat and I've got to exhaust myself. So I'm really trying to move towards saying physical activity so that it puts the emphasis on moving more rather than that perception of, I've got to go my hardest and I've got to sweat. And one of the slogans is just move more, sit less. And I love that. It is recommended that if we're sitting, we go ahead and get up after 90 minutes. A lot of us have jobs where we sit most of the day, and you may not have the time to get up every 90 minutes and go take a walk around the building. If you do, great, do that. If you don't, if you've got 10 seconds, stand up for 8 and then sit back down. So just try to move more, sit less. And I love that about the recommendations.
See, I don't have that problem at this job, and I choose not to. I mean, I have
you
a stool
stand.
right here, but I choose to stand while I'm here. But my other job, I'm there for 7 hours, or 9 hours. I don't know, however long I'm there, I don't. I mean, I'm like literally chained to my desk. Like I will half explode before I will get up and go to the bathroom because I get so focused on what I'm doing, and I've got to get it done, and so that's hard. That's a hard one
It is.
to make yourself say, okay, stop and stand up.
Right, just stand up. Now, if you've got the time and if you've got the space to where you could march in place or stand for more than 10 seconds, that would be great. But even just standing up is beneficial.
All right.
And if you can do a couple stretches.
You have to let your employees do this. You cannot look at them and say, this isn't your break time.
And one of the things that I do want to mention where I said, working out and physical activity, you want to do the moderate physical activity to count towards that 150 minutes. And in the past, they have always said 10 minutes of moderate physical activity to count towards that 150 minutes. That's no longer the case. It's any amount of moderate physical activity. And moderate physical activity is when your heart rate is increasing, your breath is increasing. You should be able to carry on a conversation with somebody, but you shouldn't be able to sing them a song. That's kind of how I think about it. And then with your vigorous activity, you're really working harder. It's harder to carry on a conversation. You're maybe getting out 2 or 3 words before you have to take another breath. So that's your difference between moderate and vigorous. And it doesn't have to be those activities where it doesn't have to be running. You and I were talking about running earlier. It doesn't have to be running. Walking is great. Gardening is a great physical activity. Things that you're doing anyway, cleaning the house, vacuuming. I feel like vacuuming is a moderate physical activity.
Right, I feel like it's a dream.
And I feel like
more than moderate.
It has to be done all the time.
Yes.
So right there, I'm
yesterday?
excited that vacuuming, as long as it's getting my heart rate up, that counts towards my 150 minutes of physical activity in a week.
Absolutely.
No.
So, and that's what I was going to ask for some, just examples of what would be considered moderate activity. Obviously we know the things like walking, and we know the things like, biking and all that kind of stuff are considered physical. But, who thinks about vacuuming as being
right?
Counting as your exercise.
Gardening is a great exercise. You're moving, you're building strength. It's just, there's so many different things. And when you think about physical activity, we have several options in our community, and I won't start naming them because I don't want to leave any out, and the University of Kentucky doesn't promote one over another. So I won't go into naming all the options for physical activity. If you're interested in classes or you're interested in gyms, we do have those options available here. If that's not your thing, that's okay. You can have a dance party in your room. You can have a dance party in your living room. You can have a dance party in your backyard. You can go run around your backyard, go play. Be a kid again, or play with your kids. Kids need to be active too, and we are modeling that behavior. If we are living a sedentary lifestyle, we are showing that to our children. So just keep those things in mind. We are our children's parents, or our parents and caregivers are our children's role models, and they're watching what we're doing and they're learning from what we're doing. So playing with them, playing a game with them, playing tag, having a dance party. We like to do those partner yoga activities. We can find those on YouTube, and we can look at the different yoga poses and try to make ourselves look like that picture. And then it causes a lot of laughter, which then contracts your, abdomen muscles. So it's like a crunch, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Laugh more. You get 6 packs in no time, right?
So, and I did want to mention our Talking Facts podcast. I did a quick search before I came in here, and there were several podcast episodes about being physically active. So if you're looking for more information, Talking Facts, FACS, is our Family and Consumer Sciences Extension podcast. There are lots of tips. If you're not sure how to access that, give me a call. I'll walk you through it, or come by the office and I'll print up a transcript for you. And you don't even have to listen to it. I'll just print it for you, and you can read it.
Good. Okay. Well, what's the number we can call?
270-365-2787.
All right, Ashley, anything else you'd like to add today?
Nope, just keep moving. Move more, sit less.
Keep moving. Move more, sit less. All right, I'm going to try. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Ashley White, Family and Consumer Sciences Agent at the Caldwell County Extension Office. Stay tuned. We're going to talk to Linda Crenshaw here in just a minute. She runs a wildlife rescue facility here in Princeton, and I'm excited to listen to information about that. We've got the animal shelter that does the dogs. Well, Linda's where you go for the cats.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure